What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, you guys. I am so excited that you are here. Today's video is just an update. Reason I'm sharing this so much is because I want to inspire you on your journey, but I also want to break through a lot of the bullshit, a lot of the media, a lot of what the diet industry puts out there as to what a transformation really is. Because I think when people think of a transformation, they think of a huge weight loss or a muscle transformation, and though those can be part of it, if health is a part of the transformation, if fitness is a part of the transformation, that's really not what a transformation is. And so I want to share with you a little bit about what I've experienced these last couple weeks. You guys, oh man, I am on week, I don't even know. I'm on week 6, or I think I'm on week 6 right now. I should know, like week 6.5. And the first week, every single week, I was hit with something. The first week, I started training, and you guys, I've been training for a long time. I know how to track macros. I know I can do this stuff without even like doing it. I can do it in my head. That was never the issue for me. It was the issue of not being so obsessed with those things and learning to look inwardly. So my body's conditioned, and so I just want to like give you a little insight as to how life can try to tweak and throw things at you, and like things that shouldn't even happen. So the first week that I started, both my calves seized up so bad that I couldn't even work out. Like so bad, not like a tear, but like I literally couldn't work out. They were in so much pain that it was brutal. I've never experienced anything like it. Like I said, like just really bizarre. The second week, my youngest got sick, so my whole routine was thrown off there. Trying to do the mom thing and have a kid at home. And then towards the end of that, I got my period. And then my other one got sick. And so then they both were homesick. And so just kind of navigating through that, and still doing good with my food and still doing good with my training somewhat. My calves weren't as sore this time, but I was dealing kind of with the family stuff getting thrown in there. And then as soon as my girls got better, I got sick. And when I got sick, I got really sick. I'm still slowly getting over this. So I was making such good, this is why I want to share. I was making such good progress data-wise. I was making such good progress on paper. The weight was going down. The measurements were changing. I was ticking the boxes, dotting the whatever. I was doing the things. I was doing the things that I was supposed to be doing. I was tracking. I was staying within my macros. Even with all these things going on, then I get sick. And I'm like, oh, well, what would have I done in the past? And so when you get sick, it's so hard to keep focused. For one, you're just not feeling good, right? And so you can't work out. And I knew if I tried to work out, which is something I would have done in the past, I would have pushed it. I would have always pushed that line because the goal was, it didn't matter about my health. I just cared about how I looked. And yes, that was the truth. And even then, I may not have said it then, but as I look back and reflect, I think, holy crap, how much I didn't love myself enough to give myself a break. And so through this transformation, I'm really learning this is a transformation. I'm in relationship with myself. Just like my children stayed home, just like I had to nurse my children back to health, I've got to do the same thing for myself. So I thought, wow, okay, well, here we go. I'm not even going to bother doing weigh-in. I'm not even going to bother taking pictures. I didn't, I was trying to track and things like that, but I was starting to feel discouraged because I'm like, well, oh, there goes everything. And then it was just like that voice came, because I still do my morning routine, and that's my saving grace. That's my that's my quiet time. That's when I think, that's when I pray, that's when I write, that's when I reflect, that's when I say my gratitude, my affirmation, my visualization. And so through the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I've really been getting into visualization, affirmations, and I'll share some of these things with you guys if you're interested of what I do and like some books and audiobooks I I don't know what it's called. I found. Anyways, I don't want to get squirrel brain on you. So that's kind of been my saving grace is my morning routine. But in this moment, I really realized that I'm being tested. Life is going to test you. And it was funny because one of the days, oh, please let me find it. I'm not even gonna try to find it. One of the days, so I'm reading this book, No Excuses, and essentially he just says, when you go after anything in life, there's going to be called these like life tests that happen, and mine happened right away, and it honestly felt like I didn't even get a start. I felt like I didn't even get a chance to get traction on this journey. It felt like boom, 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 let's see how strong she is, let's see how bad she wants us. And so that's what I started to think. I thought, let's see how bad she wants this. What is it that you truly want? And you guys, I really think getting sick was a blessing in disguise, because it really made me stop. I don't remember the last time I didn't work out for a whole 10 days in a row. Literally, I couldn't. And I decided to not until I was fully feeling better, because I knew if I tried to, that it would have went from my head and like my throat to my chest. And once it's in my chest, I don't know if you guys have had bronchitis or pneumonia, that is like, you're hooped. So I knew to just take the time and rest. And during this time of rest, was revelation, was quietness, was time to really think about what it is that I was doing this for. Why am I doing this transformation? This is what I want to share with you guys. So bear with me, stay with me. For you, those of you that are following my journey because you're starting your own journey and you're using this to help give you wisdom. So I hope this gives you wisdom. I'm just going to read because I have my notes written down, you guys. So these things that I have been learning this last little while, I need to switch my focus to what I have and create more of that. So what I mean by that is I didn't even realize, because old habits will creep in, especially if you've been in the competing industry and you're in the fitness industry. It can be really easy to get caught up and magnify the outer appearance. And I found, and when I was quiet and I couldn't do that and I couldn't work out, that maybe I was starting to go down that obsessive behavior path. And so because I was getting really negative emotions around my food and around tracking, this is the honest truth. And I was scared to share this because I do believe that tracking macros helps 100%. That I do believe my knowledge, and I do believe nutrition education. I preach it, I believe it. But me personally, I'm at a different space in my life. And I have to be okay with that. And that's the space that I'm sharing. I'm not saying that this is the space that you're going to be in, but this is the space that I'm in, mentally, physically, spiritually. And so I needed to switch my focus. And this is affirmations and what I've been, manifestations and things like that I've been really learning and in prayer and stuff about, is that I had to disassociate the things that were making me feel like I needed to be perfect in, or that were stealing my joy. Like my workouts, my nutrition should make me feel good. And when I'm on track, it should make me feel good. It shouldn't make me feel like it's not enough. It's not enough. And I noticed that the emotion associated was not enough. So that is a negative emotion. So I was starting to feel stressed out. I didn't want to get on the scale. I had a couple meltdowns. I thought, this is not what I'm doing this transformation for. This is not what it's for. This is supposed to be a tool, but I'm getting caught in the vortex. I'm going down this rabbit hole and I'm spinning fast, and I don't know how I'm going to pull myself out of this. And so it's always in those moments that of reflection and quietness that there's power, right? And so this is what I realized, that I needed to think about, switch my way of thinking into gratitude. So I had to start switching, like, what does make me feel good about my nutrition? You know, I love the fact that I get to choose the meals that I love, and what foods make me feel best. So I'm gonna start creating more meals that I look forward to eating and that make me feel good. And I'm going to focus on that, how I have a lot of choices. So this is a whole mental reframe, you guys. I literally have to sit and I have to mentally go through my thoughts and reframe the way I'm seeing my nutrition and seeing my workouts. And then also, you guys, too, in December 1st, we started the Fit in 30 challenge in the Fit Club. So I stopped doing the build program and just said, what do I have time for right now? Not just in my physical time in the day, but what do I have time for mentally, spiritually, and like physically? And 30 minutes, I'm like, you know what? 30 minutes. This is mentally all I can do right now. We're building an app where I have the Fit Club babes, I have the check-ins, I have our team that we have to manage. I have to be a mom. So what can help me associate a good feeling with my workouts where I'm not feeling burdened? And then taking that time away, knowing I only have to do 30 minutes, makes me look forward to it and I don't feel stressed out. So that right there, so mentally reframe. So started that program, started picking food choices and meat recipes. So this is what I decided to do. And I'm not saying for you to do this, you guys. This is not a prescription for you. I'm just sharing my journey of how I have to mentally retrain myself. So my food, I know, my nutrition education and you know, that I need to be in a certain amount of calories and proteins and fats. But the tracking every single day was starting to get obsessive for me. So instead of tracking every day, I made myself a meal plan. So I said, this is what I'm going to eat, and I'm just going to eat this for a week until I get sick of it. And I know if I stick to these things, I'm fine. And I noticed that when I didn't track, but I already know I am tracking because I have a meal plan. Do you get what I'm saying? So have a meal plan. I know that meal plan is made for my macros, for my calories, but as long as I'm not in my fitness pal every single day, the food doesn't stress me out. I'm not having to track or look at it every single day and feel like, oh, I didn't add up this, because it put me in my mind in a state of not enough or too much, and it overwhelmed me. It was like information overload, decision overload. And so taking that away and just following my food and listening to how it made me feel and like how it tastes, and just feeling nourished without having the adding my food in. And normally I add my food in the morning for the day. I don't have to keep doing it, but sometimes if I have something different and just getting obsessed. And so what I've decided to do is really just switch my focus to eating my food, and if I'm hungry, eat something. If I'm full, stop. And this is what I need to do for me right now, because I have to focus on the good feelings, because I want to create more of that. And I notice when I'm stressed, everything gets worse. So I have to eliminate the stressors from my life. So tracking once a month and knowing my meal plan for that week, or swapping out exercise meals, I can do that. And I seem to get momentum, and I seem to stay focused and proud of myself. So that's creating more good feelings for me. All right, so the weigh-ins, because I'm still a huge believer in you need to track, right? Progress improves and progress is measured. When progress is tracked, it accelerates. Yes, I believe that. It's the Pearson's law. But I believe that everybody is different. I believe that science can say one thing, but we, at the end of the day, are so uniquely made. And so I realized for my brain and where I'm at right now that weighing myself every week wasn't good for me. It just was creating, I could have had an awesome week and had good energy and had really good workouts, and then that one time weighing myself can wipe it all away. And so for me, I'm like, that's not worth it. And I know, because I preach this to the Fit Club, that the scale is like just a tool, and 9 times out of 10 it doesn't even tell you the good results. It just says whether you've went up and down in weight, which could be water, poop, muscle loss, muscle gain, hormones, inflammation. So it really just isn't the best thing all the time to do, especially when you're at my leanness. Like, I'm not overweight by any means. So I just decided, okay, pick one thing. So I'm going to pick taking pictures. So I'm going to commit to taking pictures every week, and I'll commit to weighing myself once a month. That to me, feels like another thing kind of just like unloaded. I'm still committing to weighing myself. I'm still committing to doing my check-ins, but I'm taking it away, and I'm picking one day a month, but still committing to a tracking tool once a week, which for me, pictures is hands down the best way you should track. It just creates habits too, to check in with yourself. And then also each week checking in, how's my sleep? How has my nutrition been? How have I been feeling with my nutrition? Do I have energy? Am I feeling full? Am I feeling extremely hungry? Just really checking in with myself and paying attention to those things. How's my confidence? How's my workout sessions? Like, do I have enough energy for them? Or like, I did that check-in, you guys, too. Like, that's why I stopped kind of doing the longer build workouts. I love them. They work awesome. But right now, in my place, in my life right now, I can't do the long workouts. So I had to change. I had to do that check-in and go, I'm feeling really burnt out. I'm getting really extremely sore. I don't want that right now. So I've switched to the Fit in 30 minutes. I'm doing 5 days a week, and I feel so good, you guys. I have all the workouts, all the exercises are timed. So you literally go from one thing to the next, and then you're done. Like, you don't have to think or count reps. So that's what I really like. And so it kind of takes away decision making. I can just kind of go through my workout. So so that's kind of where I'm at with that. And then I'm just going to read you guys my notes. I think one thing that I had to learn, and it's kind of been like a mindset shift these past couple weeks, is I'm learning that I have to be okay with breaking the rules. And what I mean by that is, like, I know this one thing says this, right? But if it's not feeling aligned with me, like I said, tracking in MyFitnessPal every single day, that's not right or wrong. It's not bad or good. Right? It's whatever fits you and where you're at right now. So I had to learn to be okay with detaching from what I tell the Fit Club babes to do when they're starting their journey, because I think it's super important, especially if you have a weight loss or muscle gain, that in the beginning you need to be tracking. If you have no idea of proteins, carbs, and fats, I've been doing it for so long that I need to detach from that and be okay with that and kind of more intuitively eat, because I know my food. I know how to intuitively eat. I know my body. So learning how to transition into that has been kind of for sure a mindset shift for me. So just I'm having to learn to be willing to like kind of break away from that. And then I've been having to learn on focus, to try to fix my focus on what I'm creating and not what I am losing or what I have to give up. My focus is on what I'm wanting to create, the feelings that I'm wanting to create. I want to create joy. I want to create energy. Again, these are back to my end goals. I want to create strength. I want to create nourishment, vitality. So I want to make sure that my mind is focused on those good things, because where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if your focus is on everything that you're lacking, your energy is going to flow that way and flow away, right? And if your if your focus is on the things that you are creating, and you'll create more of those things, and you'll create more energy, and you'll create more joy and things like that. So that's another thing. I've been learning to listen to my intuition. So this has been huge. This is just a note that I kind of put. So hopefully I'm going to say it and hopefully it will make sense. I'm starting to see that it doesn't matter what experts, doctors, or science says. You know you. And unless you are happy and content, nothing will work. And so this is huge, because it doesn't matter what textbook says. You could do all the right things and still not seem to get results, because if you are literally out of alignment, you guys, we are not just a physical body. We are body, mind, and soul. And if those are not in alignment, nothing's going to change. It literally you'll have, and science will say this, chemical reactions. That's why chemical imbalances. When you have stress, when you get stressed about something, you create more stress. Your cortisol increases. That's a stress hormone. You have things that go on within your bodies. Your adrenals start draining. So then you're in fight or flight all the time. And then that drains your adrenals and you cause burnout and fatigue. So it's crazy. So it doesn't matter if you're doing all the right things. If you are chronically stressed about it, nothing's gonna work. And so I realized this. So I'm like, I'm doing all the things, and now I'm stressed because I'm doing all the things and I'm keep getting sick. And I just had that like intuition, like, let it go. You are so attached to data, which data is good. I don't want to contradict myself here. Data is good. Science is good. Those things are true. But if they're so obsessive that you're so stressed that you're not in a state of peace and harmony with yourself, they're not going to work. So I had to be willing to detach from those things, and I had to be willing to hang on to my hope, my faith that what I am doing, if I'm in tune with my body, if I'm feeling nourished, if I'm eating the right foods that I know that I'm supposed to be eating, if I'm doing my workout in the time that suits my lifestyle, where I'm not feeling overwhelmed or stressed and my body's not feeling chronically trained and overtrained or sore all the time, I'm going to sleep better. I'm going to be happy. My body is going to relax and it's going to do what I want it to do. And I have to be willing to detach from weighing myself every single week. And I'm for me, not for you. This is for me. I know that I will commit to once a month, and pictures I'll do every single week. But for me, for my stress levels, for the distortion, for keeping my eyes clear and focused, this is what I'm learning that I have to do. So this is what I'm learning. Okay, I've been thinking about through all of this, and then what I'm sharing with you is that I'm learning that I have to focus on this transformation from the inside out, because this is what I'm preaching. This is what I'm doing. I'm really putting myself through this and putting myself out there. I'm sharing with you guys. And I'm learning that it's not gonna look the same as a weight loss transformation or what the media portrays as a transformation, that it's not going to look the same, that it's going to be different. So what I did before won't work right now. And so I was doing the things that I was doing before, but it was like there's a part of me that was fighting against it, because it's like, you said you were going to do one thing, but you're starting to do the things that you did before. Even though those things are good tools, it's not what I was trying to do the reverse and say that I wasn't. So I was out of alignment. I hope you're staying with me. I hope that makes sense. So I had to learn that, okay, we're going to have to reverse this. I'm going to have to detach from these certain things that I know that science says, data says that I need to do for this quote unquote, what the media says, what diet culture says is a successful transformation. And yes, those things do work, but right now I have to look within, and I have to make sure I'm in alignment and in harmony with my values, with my beliefs and things like that. And then so this is the last part to learn, and I have to be okay with detaching from data that may say it's a certain way to my belief and what I know in my heart, right? What I know a transformation happens in your mind. This thing that you can't explain. Call it supernatural, call it God, call it the universe. To me, it's my faith. To me, it's God. To me, it is that all-knowing that this is not going to happen the way it's happened before. And that I'm going to have to release anything in my life and anything that I have been using that is blocking this process, no matter how scary it can be. And for me, it was scary because I know what I know. I have my journal. I do these things. I have this routine. I know the science says this, and I teach this, and I've read this, and I know that this says that this is what I'm supposed to do for my health, for my fitness. But I had to be willing to let go of that and know that if that is blocking me from feeling in harmony with myself, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get to this internal transformation. This transformation from the inside out has to happen inside out. It's never going to look the same. It's feeling uncomfortable. It's feeling scary because I'm letting go of these things that are almost tangible, to things that I can't really see yet, but I have to believe that I know I have this body goal. We all have goals, and sometimes I feel guilty for saying that I have these body goals. It's really scary for me as a trainer, as a coach, to say, you know, I want to get my body to this level. It's scary because I never want to make somebody else feel where they're at is bad or good, or I never want to give the idea that one body is better than the other, and I never want to give the idea that I'm unhappy with who I am and where I'm at. But I also am scared because I'm scared to set a goal for myself, and what if I fail in front of everybody and I can't seem to reach that goal? And as a coach and as a trainer, what if that ruins my credibility? You know, and so I have all of these things that have been going on in my head. Oh, and they've just felt so heavy. And so I got sick. Literally. My kids got sick and got me sick, but I think I got sick for a reason. And during that time is when all this stuff just kind of came out. I was able to be still. And so you guys, something that I want to share with you, something that you guys can write down or take. So these are 3 words that were spoken to me spiritually that I heard. This was years ago, but it came back to me again. Okay. Patience. Patience is an action word. It is not something that is just still. Like when you think of being patient, for me, I think like sit still and just sit there. Doesn't matter. But patience is your attitude through something. It is active. It is still doing the things that you need to do with hope, faith, and trust that in the right time, what you are doing, you will reap the reward for. To me, that's what patience is. It is a mental discipline. It is a mental reframing. It is learning to be happy with who you are in this moment on your way to who you want to become, right? For who you are now, and you're already that person, but on your way to becoming that person that was already you, right? So that's my first word is patience. And then the second one is trusting the process. Like I said, I mean, this is 6.5 weeks. Some of you may roll your eyes. Some of you may be like, Hannah, you're overthinking everything too much, and maybe, but you know what? This is my journey. And I've had to learn to trust the process, to not try to figure everything out. I've had to learn to do the things that I know I'm supposed to be doing and not try to figure out the what or the how. I think the what or the how can get obsessive, and it's a way for us to control the outcome. And so I've had to let go of that and just trust the process, that the outcome will happen, and probably better than I'm going to expect. But I have to let go of trying to control the process. You have to trust the process. You can't control the process, right? And then the third one is focus. That I have to focus on the goal, but also focus on the feelings that I want to create. Don't focus on the things that I'm trying to stay away from or the things I don't want to do. That I really have to focus on the things that I want more of in my life. So more joy, more energy, and then and more gratitude. And so how can I create those things? So my morning routine really helps with that. So you guys, that is it. Honestly, I hope this inspires you today. I know this is a longer video. And again, my mind is going like, this is way too long. Like, Hannah, why do you keep talking? But this is really me, you guys. It's real time. But you know what? The person that needs to hear this this time won't seem very long, I guess. So this is where I'm at in this part of the journey, 6.5 weeks in. And it sounds ridiculous when I say it, everything that I feel like I've went through in these past few weeks, but I hope to take you on this journey, and I hope that you're starting yours, and I hope that this gives you insight, and I hope that this makes you reframe the way you see yourself, and that you know that you have everything in you, inside you, that you need to be, that it already is you, that girl that you want to be, the body you want to have, the habits you want to create, the goals and dreams you want to have, that they're already yours. You just have to believe them, and it has to start from within before it starts from without. And it's gonna feel like a whirlwind. And like I said, if you start to feel like you're going down that rabbit hole or that vortex, and you feel like you're losing control, it's time to get quiet, and it's time to start journaling, and it's time to start reflecting and writing out your thoughts and figuring out where this is coming from, because that's usually a sign that usually you're on the right path, because you're going to feel resistance when you're on the right path. That's normal. It's like when you build muscle. In order to build muscle, you have to have resistance, or we can't build muscle. It makes us stronger. So any resistance during your journey is just going to make you stronger if you choose to not give up, if you choose to be patient. Action word, remember, keep moving forward, being patient with where you're at, knowing that you're going to get to where you want to be, and then trusting the process, not controlling the process, and then staying focused on the feelings you want to create more of. And this can be done in the morning with affirmations, with gratitude, with prayer, with reading books and things like that. So you guys, I love you all. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up for me. Leave me a comment. What inspired you today? Comment below. I'd love to know what you want to see more of. Yeah, subscribe if you haven't. Hit that bell so you'll be notified when I do upload new videos. I love you all. You guys, share this with 3 friends that you know need to hear or inspire, because encouragement is contagious. And the more we can encourage one another along our health and fitness journey, the better off we're going to be. And when we give, we receive. So let's give some encouragement. I love you all. Bye.